Ever wondered how to cook the perfect adobo? Adobo, a culinary gem from the Philippines, is more than a dish. It's a testament to the vibrant culture and history of this Southeast Asian archipelago. Rooted in Spanish colonial influences, adobo has evolved through centuries, reflecting the tastes and traditions of the Filipino people. The magic of adobo lies in its simplicity. It's a symphony of basic ingredients, each playing a pivotal role in creating a dish that sings with flavor. The main actors in this culinary performance are soy sauce and vinegar, the yin and yang of adobo. Soy sauce brings a deep, savory, umami flavor, while vinegar adds a bright, tangy kick. Together, they create a balance that is the heart and soul of adobo. But like any great symphony, adobo is not just about the lead players. There's a supporting cast of garlic, black peppercorns, and bay leaves. Garlic infuses the dish with a robust, earthy aroma. The black peppercorns add a hint of spice and warmth, while bay leaves lend a subtle, herbal complexity. These ingredients work in harmony, each contributing their unique notes to the flavorful crescendo that is adobo. Now the beauty of adobo lies in its versatility. There are as many variations of adobo as there are islands in the Philippines. Some add a touch of sweetness with a sprinkle of brown sugar, others introduce a bit of heat with a dash of chili. And then there are those who prefer a creamy twist with a swirl of coconut milk. Each version is a personal interpretation, a reflection of the cook's palate and creativity. So are you ready to embark on this culinary journey and create your own perfect adobo? Whether you prefer the classic or the contemporary, the sweet or the spicy, the journey to mastering the art of adobo promises to be a flavorful adventure. Let's dive into the world of Filipino cuisine and discover the secret to the perfect adobo. First things first, gather all the ingredients you will need. Here's what you're going to need for a classic adobo dish: a pound of chicken or pork, or a mix of both, 5 cloves of garlic, minced, a couple of bay leaves, a half cup of soy sauce, a half cup of white vinegar, a tablespoon of sugar, and some peppercorns. Now if you don't have white vinegar on hand, apple cider vinegar works just as well. And for those of you who like a bit of heat in your meals, feel free to add a couple of chili peppers. For additional depth of flavor, you can marinate the meat in the soy sauce and vinegar for a couple of hours or overnight, but we'll get more into that in the next scene. With all these ingredients at hand, we're all set to start the cooking process. Now the secret to a great adobo lies in its marinade. Let's dive into the magic of marination. This is where the flavors of garlic, vinegar, soy sauce, and spices meld together, creating a symphony that will dance on your palate. First things first, pull out that garlic. You'll want to peel and chop about 6 cloves. Why so much? Because in adobo, garlic is not just a background note, it's the star of the show, lending its robust flavor to the mix. Next, you'll want to reach for your vinegar. The tang of vinegar is a hallmark of adobo. It acts as a tenderizer and imparts a sharp, zesty note that cuts through the richness of the meat. White vinegar is traditional, but feel free to experiment with apple cider, or even balsamic for a twist. Then comes the soy sauce. This brings the savory umami notes that make adobo so irresistible. It also gives the dish its characteristic dark hue. So pour it in generously. Now let's talk spices. A couple of bay leaves and a teaspoon of whole peppercorns are all you need. The bay leaves lend a subtle herbal note, while the peppercorns add a kick of heat. Once your marinade is ready, it's time to introduce the meat. Whether you're using chicken, pork, or even beef, make sure it's well coated with the marinade. This is when the flavor magic happens. The meat absorbs the marinade, ensuring every bite is packed with flavor. So, how long should you marinate? Well, the longer the better. Ideally, you'd want to leave it overnight, but if you're pressed for time, a minimum of 2 hours will do. Just remember, the longer the meat marinates, the deeper the flavors. Once you've got your meat soaking up all that flavorful goodness, it's time to get cooking. Now let's bring all these ingredients together and start cooking. First things first, grab your pan and put it over medium heat. You don't want it too hot, as we're going to sauté our garlic and onions. This is where the magic starts, my friends. The aroma of garlic and onions sautéing together is a sensory delight that sets the stage for the deliciousness to come. Remember to stir them occasionally to prevent burning. Once the onions are translucent and the garlic is golden brown, it's time for the chicken to join the party. Make sure to mix it well with the onions and garlic, ensuring each piece gets a good sear. This is where we lock in those flavors, creating a base that's going to carry through the entire dish. Now let's add our marinated chicken into the mix. All that flavor we've been nurturing in the marinade is now going to infuse into the chicken. Stir it around, making sure every piece is coated in the marinade. The acidity of the vinegar, the saltiness of the soy sauce, and the sweet undertones of the sugar are all going to meld together, creating a symphony of flavors that is the backbone of our adobo. Next, we're going to let it simmer. Turn down the heat, cover your pan, and let the magic happen. This is where patience is key. We're allowing the heat to gently cook the chicken, while the marinade reduces into a rich, flavorful sauce. This process should take around 20 to 30 minutes, but keep an eye on it. You don't want it to dry out. While your adobo is simmering, let's talk about the role of each ingredient. The chicken is our star, providing a hearty base for the dish. The garlic and onions add a depth of flavor, while the vinegar and soy sauce create a tangy, savory sauce that is undeniably adobo. The bay leaves and peppercorns add a subtle layer of complexity, while the sugar balances out the acidity and saltiness. Once the chicken is tender and the sauce has reduced, it's time to add our bay leaves and peppercorns. These are traditionally used in adobo, adding a unique flavor profile that sets it apart. Stir them in, making sure they're well distributed. Finally, taste your adobo. This is your chance to adjust the seasoning. If it needs more salt, add a little more soy sauce. If it's too tangy, a pinch of sugar can balance it out. Remember, cooking is a creative process, and you're the artist in your kitchen. And just like that, you've cooked your very own adobo. But wait, we're not done just yet. Every dish needs its finishing touches, and adobo is no exception. Once your adobo has simmered to perfection, it's time to add those final flourishes that will elevate your dish from good to great. First, let's talk garnish. A sprinkle of fresh, chopped green onions or cilantro can add a pop of color and a burst of fresh flavor that contrasts beautifully with the rich, savory adobo. If you're feeling adventurous, a squeeze of calamansi or lime over the top can provide a zesty kick that will make your adobo truly sing. Now let's discuss pairings. Adobo is a versatile dish that pairs wonderfully with a variety of side dishes. Steamed rice is a classic choice, soaking up the flavorful sauce beautifully. For drinks, a crisp cold beer or a glass of full-bodied red wine can complement the hearty flavors of the adobo. And there you have it, your perfect adobo is ready to be served and savored. So, let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We embarked on a culinary journey, exploring the art of adobo, a beloved dish that's steeped in tradition and flavor. We started by preparing the ingredients, ensuring we had the freshest produce and spices to make the dish shine. From there, we moved to the marinade, a crucial step that infuses our adobo with its signature taste. We let our chosen meats soak in a bath of soy sauce, vinegar, and our secret blend of spices. Then we jumped into the cooking process, slowly simmering our marinated masterpiece to perfection. We watched as the flavors melded together, creating a symphony of taste in our pot. Finally, we added the finishing touches, garnishing our dish with fresh herbs and serving it with a side of fluffy white rice. Remember, the art of cooking is all about experimentation, so don't be afraid to add your own twist to this classic dish. Until next time, happy cooking.